theatre company and hope you can help us.
Hello, I'm Nick Hennigan from Maverick Theatre, and I hope you can help us. The Maverick Theatre Company is a registered charity. I'm the artistic director, and during the Olympics, the London Olympics 2012, I was sitting in this pub, the Fitzroy Tavern, looking at some of the famous writers' pictures on the walls, and I thought there must be some stories to tell here. So I put together a thing called the London Literary Pub Crawl, which takes in 10 pubs and clubs throughout Fitzrovia and Soho. And now, with your help, we can introduce the London Literary Fleet Street Pub Crawl. This is Fleet Street, one of the most vibrant, incredible, historic streets in the world. And with a little bit of help from you, we hope to turn these stories into a reality. A chance, for the first time in many, many years, to meet some of the great characters of London. This is a bar known as El Vino, although it used to be known as well as The Stab because of the conversations that used to go on in here. It was also the site of one of the very first kind of stirrings of the women's movement, when female journalists got a little bit fed up that they couldn't join the boys in the back. This is another of the side streets off Fleet Street, and one of the areas that we've been investigating and researching for the new tour. I mean, and just look at this pub behind me. Incredible. A beautiful glass palace. I've spoken to one or two old journalists that used to work on Fleet Street. The last newspaper left just a few years ago. But apparently at certain times of the day, all of the national newspapers and some of the world's newspapers were based here in Fleet Street. They all had their machinery here as well. And at certain times of the day, apparently you could feel the pavement moving under your feet with vibrations from the presses. Some of the other guys that used to work for the Sun newspaper, the print boys, would occasionally, on their lunch break, nip over and do some work for the Daily Mail. So there's some incredible stories to be told here, and with your help, we will tell them. It's getting dark now in Gough Square, just off Fleet Street, and as you can see, there's some modern buildings amongst the more traditional. Partly, of course, because of the Blitz in the Second World War. We suffered quite badly from German bombing. One place that survived, fortunately, though, is behind me. And this is the house of Dr. Samuel Johnson, who already features on the London Literary Pub Crawl. Of course, he wrote the famous Dictionary of the English Language. While he was doing it, he went broke, ended up going to debtor's prison. There's a real kind of link between writers and debt. Another of the reasons that we want to come here is that just round the corner is a brilliant old pub. I'll show you that now. This is one of the reasons why so many people used to come and visit Dr. Samuel Johnson. It's just round the corner from where he lives, and it's called, as you can see, Ye Old Cheshire Cheese. So after the Great Fire of London, this pub was rebuilt. But it's not just the contemporary stories of Fleet Street and the people that lived and worked here that we want to talk about in this new production. Just take a look at some of the literati that have been involved in and around this particular space, Wine Office Court, off Fleet Street. It's kind of a who's who of literature. If we raise any more money than our target, we will use it to employ some actors and work up the first draft of the tour. If we raise any more than that, then there are 2 books that we intend to publish, which will chart the history of the tour. But more than that, it's about getting people involved. It's about bringing these characters and stories to life. And with your help, not only will you enable us to get the tour going, you will in your own way, possibly, be writing your own little bit of literary history.